The Environmental Protection Agency announced that they're weakening limits on mercury and other toxic emissions from coal-fired power plants. The announcement was made at Mill Creek Station just off of Dixie Highway here in Louisville. It's the Trump administration's latest effort to boost the coal industry. Research finds that toxic emissions from coal can lead to health issues in young children and even contribute to heart attacks for older adults. The latest rule reverts the industry to standards first established in 2012 that have reduced mercury emissions by nearly 90%. The Biden administration sought to tighten those standards further in 2024.
EPA's action today rights the wrongs of the last administration's rule and will return the industry to the highly effective original MAT standards that helped pave the way for American energy dominance.
An environmental group said that the Biden administration rule saved lives and even helped communities that live near coal-fired power plants.